Okay, so this is Behavioral Management and Classroom Preferences by Lucas Manor. So the first of a few concepts I will keep in mind in my classroom. The first is consistency. Um, I think it's important for teachers to be consistent throughout their techniques they use and rewards and consequence systems. Um, this way, the students know you're being fair and they won't question. I mean, they still might, but hopefully they won't question as much. Um, what you're telling them or what you're trying to get them to do if they know you're doing the same thing for everyone. Being consistent from the first day and that first week can help create your classroom routines. Being consistent will hopefully lead to students knowing what is expected of them, which will hopefully lead to less behavioral issues for you to worry about. Um, and if everyone knows what they're supposed to be doing in the classroom, hopefully it'll lead to less time in transition and more time for you to teach. So the next is a positive classroom environment. Uh, I think every teacher's goal is to have their classroom be a place that their students look forward to going to every day, uh, regardless of the student's home life or background. The classroom should be an environment in which they feel safe and want to have fun and enjoy learning. Um, Having community style classroom, is assigning different jobs like calendar, someone who's in charge of the calendar and line leader and stuff like that, gives them a sense of purpose and forces them to rely on each other, and that can help create a closer community in the classroom. It's important um, to give consistent encouragement to your students. That way, they know that they're wanted there, and it's all help them enjoy being in the classroom. And it's important to model a positive attitude in the classroom because I'm sure you've heard a million times that the way you act, your students are going to act the same way. Another aspect is recognition, um, recognizing positive attitude and good work on good work on their schoolwork and their homework and stuff like that goes a long way. Like most people, students love being told that they are right, and hopefully that public recognition will lead to the other students striving towards getting that public acknowledgement that they've just seen. Um, another another way recognition can be implemented is through a phone call home to mom and dad saying, "Hey, little Giant did great today. It was great having him in class." And then you know, that's a way uh, you can get that student recognition at home, and it also gets the parents involved as well. Another one is accountability. This is a big one for me. Most people, especially kids, do not like to admit to have had made a mistake or being wrong, even though that's just part of human nature. Uh, we learn much more from our mistakes than we do from our successes, and that's something that I think needs to be hammered into kids' heads. Um, Accountability teaches students how to handle making mistakes and what 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 to do. If you do mess up, or if you do uh, maybe you say something or do something mean to a classmate, and teach them how to apologize for it and how to move forward. It also teaches the rest of the class an understanding. Um, as long as the whole class understands that we're all going to make a mistake at some point, it can help teach them those social skills of how to stay calm and how to handle uh, con- uh, confrontation with one another. Um, and hopefully, teaching students to be accountable will lead to less arguments between students. So, as far as classroom setup goes, I've been in classrooms where the teachers have just had rows of desks, usually in groups of two at the least. And I've also been in classes where kids sit at tables or sit at desks that are grouped together like tables. and I've seen them both be very effective. Um, Personally, I think ideally I'd like tables um, to create a classroom environment where the kids are working together. So I think learning is more fun that way. You know, there's a lot of social aspects to learning, but sometimes you run into a class that maybe just can't handle uh, that social aspect while still focusing on the schoolwork. So in that case, you might have to switch to desks if that's an option for you. Um, so a few other things I would like in my ideal classroom would be cabinets to store supplies and other things, so they won't be a distraction to the kids. Uh, Obviously, you're going to have your own personal desk, but it'd also be nice to have another larger desk somewhere else in the room for one-on-one work or group work. Um, Ideally, in one of the corners, you'd have some sort of classroom library. Uh, I'd like to have one big enough where you could sneak a couch in there, so that's a enjoyable spot for students to read, and that can also be used as a reward, being able to go read in the library or something like that. It'd also be nice to have space for a big rug down in front for morning meetings or just any time you want to have the class together in a circle or something like that. And then having a few other small tables around the room for uh, aides in your classroom or classroom visitors or uh, those darn college kids. Uh, those are just a few things. Obviously, there's a lot more you'd like in a classroom, but that right there, I think, are those are a few good examples of things that would allow me to be an effective teacher and for my students to be able to learn effectively. Um, as far as creating classroom expectations and rules goes, I think a great way to do it would be to have the students actually do it with you. This would be a great way to enforce accountability as well. So having the students answer questions like, in order for me to be successful, this is what I need to do. This is what I expect my classmates to do, and this is what I expect my teacher to do. And then you can take those and form them into, 4 or 5 general class expectations. Um, but yeah, you have to keep in mind the overall school ones that some schools have. Like in the Winona area public schools, it's be responsible, be respectful, be safe. Um, and then as far as forming rules, you can take those expectations and form a list of rules that all revolve around the idea of are the expectations being broke. Rewards. Um, a fair reward system uh, can help keep the class on the same page. Um, I've seen many different point or ticket or fake money systems that teachers will use um, to establish their reward system. Uh, some of these include consequences, some do not. I think consequences help keep the rewards in balance. Um, in my classroom, I would use a wide variety, uh, things like lunch with a teacher, or I mean, if I know when I was in elementary school, you couldn't have lunch with the principal if you did a certain amount of things or something like that, and then um, you could have like class-wide rewards where you have the whole class have a pizza party or something like that, and then as far as individuals go, a lot of teachers will have like a prize bin or something like that with like stickers and pencils and erasers and stuff like that. Um, Going back to B.F. Skinner's concept of shaping behavior, rewards is just an easy and efficient thing to use in the classroom to get your to help get your students to do what you want them to do. So that is it, and thanks for listening.